The poem The House of My Childhood by Dilip Chitra. Dilip Purushottam Chitra was one of the foremost Indian poets and critics of post-independent India. Apart from being a very important bilingual writer, writing in Marathi and English, he was also a painter, translator, fiction writer and filmmaker. Dilip Chitra was one of the greatest poets and critics of the post-independent India. He was a bilingual writer. He wrote in Marathi and English. He was also a painter, translator, fiction writer and filmmaker. Dilip Chitra's works. He published his first collection of poems in 1960. His collected poems was published in the 1990s in 3 volumes. He has also edited an anthology of Marathi poetry and has prolifically translated prose and poetry. His most famous translation is of the celebrated 17th century Marathi Bhakti poet Tukaram. Now about his film career. He started his professional film career in 1969 and has since made one feature film, about a dozen documentary films, several short films and about 20 video documentary features. He wrote the scripts of most of his films as well as directed or co-directed them. Dilip Chitra travelled widely in Asia, Africa, Europe and North America, as well as in the interiors of India. So Dilip Chitra loved travels. He travelled widely in Asia, Africa, Europe and North America, and also in the interior parts of India. He had been on the visiting faculty of many universities and institutions. He was the honorary president of the Sondamar Cultural Association. So, almost all the poems written by Chitra are autobiographical in nature. Almost all the poems are autobiographical in nature. So, about this poem, The House of My Childhood. The House of My Childhood is a poem which is nostalgic in nature. The poem is set in the autobiographical background of his ancestral home, where the speaker spent his childhood days and he is trying to recollect the past memories imprinted on his mind. So, let's go to the lines of the poem. The house of my childhood stood empty on a grey hill, all its furniture gone, except my grandmother's grindstone and the brass figurines of her gods. So the poem is set in the ancestral home of Dilip Chitra. The poem is set in the ancestral home of Dilip Chitra. He has spent much of his time in that house with his grandmother. He is nostalgic about the life that he lived with his grandmother in his ancestral home. Now his grandmother is no more. Nobody is living in that house. The house stood on a grey hill, on top of a hill, which is described as grey. So the words empty, grey, etc. suggest a desolation. Desolation. So the house of my childhood stood empty on a grey hill, all its furniture gone. There is no furniture in the house. All the furniture has been taken away. All the furniture has been removed. There is no furniture in the house now, except my grandmother's grindstone and the brass figurines of her gods. Only two things are left there. Grandmother's grindstone, the grindstone used by grandmother. So grindstone was commonly found in all the houses in those days. Grandmother prepared different types of food, grinding grains in the grindstone. It needs a lot of hard work. Except my grandmother's grindstone and the brass figurines of her gods, and also her gods, the idols that she worshipped, the idols before which she prayed. She spent her evening. So these two things are left there, because in the modern times these things have become outdated. Nobody needs a grindstone now. The place of grindstone has been taken by mixers, grinders, etc. So grandmother's grindstone and the idols of gods, they were left there. All the furniture of the house has been taken away. Nobody wants grindstone nowadays. And also gods, idols. So in the grandmother's time, women spend their evening worshipping idols. Much of their time has been spent in prayers. But now women have no time to spend before idols. They spend most of the time before the TV, watching TV serials. So this is the change that happened with the coming of modernity. After the death of all birds, bird cries still fill the mind. After the city's erasure, a blur still peoples the air. After the death of all birds. So during those days, when he spent in the ancestral home with his grandmother, he could hear the singing of birds. He used to wake up listening to the bird cries. Later he left the village and went to live in the city. So the life in the city was different. It is the death of all birds. Nobody has time to listen to the singing of birds. The city life tried to erase his memories of the past, his nostalgic memories. After the death of all birds, bird cries still fill the mind. But the city life could not destroy these memories. They are still fresh in his mind. After the city's erasure, a blur still peoples the air. A blur. Blur means something not clear. A vision which is not clear. So the memories of the past, his childhood memories, still remained fresh in his mind. Even though indistinct, blurred pictures, a blur still peoples the air. Even though not a clear memory, it's a blurred memory. The city life could not completely wipe out his memories of his childhood days. Those active days, those memories. After the death of all birds, bird cries still fill the mind. After the city's erasure, a blur still peoples the air. In the colorless crack that comes before morning, in a place where nobody can sing, words distribute their silence among intricately clustered leaves. In the colorless crack that comes before morning. So memories of the childhood days, memories of the days he spent in this house were very fresh, especially in the time or in the early dawn at that time. In the colorless crack that comes before morning, in a place where nobody can sing, the poet is Now living in the city, nobody is singing there. There is no singing of the birds. In a place where nobody can sing, words distribute their silence among intricately clustered leaves. So his memory slid from the city life to the village, to this ancestral home. Words distribute their silence. There is silence. The city life is noisy, but here there is silence now. Words distribute their silence among intricately clustered glyphs. Glyphs means images. It refers to the idols. Intricately clustered glyphs. So the images, the sculptured symbols which lie there, which are placed closely together, intricately clustered glyphs. Intricate means something complex. In the colorless crack that comes before morning, in a place where nobody can sing, words distribute their silence among intricately clustered glyphs. My grandmother's voice shivers on a bare branch, on the branch of a tree. So the poet hears the voice of his grandmother. The poet hears the voice of his grandmother in the singing of some bird on the branch of a tree. It seems to the poet, it appears to the poet that he hears grandmother's voice in the singing of some bird on the branch of a tree. I toddle around the empty house. I toddle around the empty house. So toddle means walk with unsteady steps, move with unsteady steps, like a baby, as a baby does, like an infant's walk. So the poet once more becomes a child, once more becomes an infant, toddling, moving unsteadily around the empty house. Spring and summer are both gone. It refers to the passage of time. Passage of time. The poet is aware of the passage of time. Spring and summer have come and gone. Many years have passed. Spring and summer, that bright time, the bright period of his life is gone. It will not come back. Spring and summer are both gone, leaving an elderly infant. Elderly infant. Actually, these are opposite ideas. Elderly infant. മുതിർന്ന ശിശു എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നത് elderly infant. So the figure of speech is oxymoron. The figure of speech is oxymoron when two opposite ideas are placed together. It is oxymoron. Leaving an elderly infant. So the poet once again becomes an infant, toddling around the empty house to explore the rooms of age. To explore the rooms of age. So, filled with memories, the poet is standing there as an elderly infant. Okay, thank you. It's a simple poem. Very nostalgic in nature. You can see alliteration in the expressions like colorless crack, alliteration, repetition of the consonant sounds, colorless crack that comes repetition of the consonant sound, you can see in this. Okay, thank you.